Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video to show you how to change the logic board in the iPhone 6. So during this process we're going to be using a few different tools. One of the tools that I'm going to be using is a suction cup tool, and I'll explain in a bit how this works. The other things that we're going to be using is a Phillips screwdriver size 000, and we're going to be using a small Torx screwdriver size 0. So I'll include links in the video description for these tools that I'm going to be using to work on this, or any parts that I'm going to be using during this process. I'll include links in the video description for them as well if you want to check them out. So first what we will need to do is in the bottom right down here there's two little screws, and we're going to need to use this Torx screwdriver, and we're going to need to remove these two screws right here. So next what we will do is we'll use this handy little suction tool. Now you can use another suction cup like these ones if you want, and you can just put them on the front here, but it's a lot easier to use this tool. They're not very expensive at all, and you can get these tools, and what they do is they attach on the front and the back like this. Now what you want to do is stay as close to the home button as you can down here, and if you have a cracked screen or anything like that, you just can put a piece of a tape over here like packing tape, and then you have something to adhere to. And so what we're going to do is just gently pry up on this screen. As you can see, mine came apart just like that. Now if you have to, you can use a little pry tool to pry in here. I have a little plastic pry tool like this, and what you have to, if you need to get it started a little bit, you can pry right under here just a little bit, and then once this thing lets loose, you can just go ahead and remove it. The next what you need to do is carefully pry up on the screen here. And then there's this plate right here, and there's 5 screws, and you're going to want to remove those, and make sure you keep those screws in the right order because some of them are different sizes. So next what we're going to want to do is remove this cover right here. I'm just going to use a tweezer so you can see easy enough. And then what we're going to want to do, I like to use this plastic pry tool because that way I don't short anything out for sure. You can use your fingers even if you want, your fingernails. But just go ahead and loosen this connector right here, and then just go ahead and loosen the connector right behind it, and then this one over here, just kind of in order as they come up, that you can take these apart. And so there's 4 connectors, and then the whole screen comes off just like that. So next what we're going to want to do is remove these 2 screws right here, the battery plate cover, and they're both Phillips screws, and you want to make sure to keep track of them because they're a different size. Then we can go ahead and remove this plate cover. Just pulls off of there. So next what you will want to do is remove this connector right here. Remove this connector right here for the battery. Get it out of the way. And then we're also going to want to disconnect this antenna wire right here carefully. So next what we will want to do is remove the SIM card tray. Just go ahead and get rid of that. And then next we're going to use a Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to start down here, and we're going to remove this screw, and then these screws here, all the screws that we can see up to here. We're not going to worry about from here over for now, but for now let's get all these right here. And then you're also going to need a flat screwdriver and remove this screw right here with a flat screwdriver. Now make sure to keep these all in the right order because they're all different sizes. Next what we're going to want to do is remove this little cover for the camera right here. And then we're going to want to take something, either a fingernail or a plastic pry tool, and remove this connector right here for the rear camera. There's also this little black piece right here beside the camera that we're going to want to set off to the side. And then if we pull up on this, just wiggle a little bit, the rear camera should pop right out. And then this will expose another screw right here that we're going to want to remove, and then we're going to want to remove these 2 screws here, and then these 2 screws here. All these screws that we can see on top here, we can go ahead and remove along with that one. Next what we're going to want to do is remove this shield right here. This will expose one more screw here, which we'll need to remove, and then also right up here, straight up against the top right here, is another screw that we're going to want to remove as well. So then we can grab this part right here and pull it off, and then there's also this little plastic part here that we can pull off. Then we have one more screw to remove right here. Next we can pull this little part right here off. Next what we're going to want to do is disconnect these connectors right here. There's these two. Then next we should be able to pry up right here. Just lift carefully and our logic board is free to come out just like that. To reinstall the logic board, just grab your logic board, make sure these connectors are pulled back out of the way. Just kind of set it right down in here. It should set down nice. Then let's go ahead and reconnect these two connectors right here. Next, what I would recommend to secure the logic board is put this one here in the bottom, and then put the one here that uses the flat screwdriver to install right here. Next, what I would recommend is putting these two pieces in right here, that one and the one right here. Then go ahead and put the screw in that goes up against like this for this one right here. And then we'll go ahead and put the screw in right here. We'll also need to put the screw in that goes right here. These two that are right beside each other, we're going to put that screw in as well. Next we're going to want to grab this shield right here, set it right down in there, and then we're going to want to put these three screws in right up in this corner. We're also going to want to put this screw in right here, and then this screw right in here in the middle. And then we can grab this plate right here and set this right in there and put the two screws in there. Then next we can put one more screw in this black plastic part right up here. Next what we can do is set this little piece down in right in here. Make sure it sets down in the way it's supposed to be. And then put this screw in, and this screw in. There seems to be a lot of screws to keep track of, but hang in there, we're almost done with the screws. So now grab your rear camera. Set it right down in there where it goes. It kind of presses down in. Then reconnect the connector. Make sure it presses down firmly. Then grab the shield for the camera. Just set it right down there on top of there. And put those two screws back in. Next what you will want to do is reconnect this antenna wire right here. Now it's a little tricky, sometimes it takes a little doing to get it. And you'll just hear it snap right on. Make sure it's nice and good there. Then you can just grab your battery connector, pop that in, grab this connector, put that in, and then grab your battery plate connector and put your two screws back in. To reinstall the screen, just grab the screen, set it right down in here, and just start connecting the connector that's the furthest down. And just keep going in order. Middle one next, and then this one over to the side here. You can kind of feel them firmly snap into place there. You'll need to grab your shield right here and go ahead and put all 5 of those screws back in. Now if it's easier, what you can do is, if you get a couple screws in to hold this in place, you can kind of pull the screen off to the side here. Just be careful to not pull it too far, so you can just rest it down and put the rest of these in. So to put your screen back in, just grab your phone, and if you kind of tip this up right here, this is a little hard to see because I still have a screen protector here, but just kind of tip it up a little like this, keep it apart, and then get the top started down in here first, and then you can just kind of press the screen in and just work your way down around, make sure that it's in all the way around, and go ahead and put your 2 screws back in the bottom. There you go guys, you're all set. Thanks for watching.